Counting cards in blackjack is like finding a secret passage to beating the house. Despite what you might think, it's not some super complicated math wizardry. Actually, with a bit of patience and practice, you can master it. Trust me, our guide here. It's your personal roadmap to becoming a card counting whiz. You get to learn top-notch techniques, how to perfect your skills, and all sorts of juicy tidbits that'll turn the tables in your favor. Guess what? Card counting isn't about memorizing every single card dealt from the shoe. No way. You don't need to track each and every 3 or 4 that's been played. Instead, the trick is to get a sense of the overall value of the remaining deck. With this knowledge in your back pocket, you can then tweak your playing strategy and bet sizes. Even though blackjack's already slated with some of the best odds in the house, adding a layer of strategy gives you an even bigger edge. Every hand presents a decision, an opportunity to sway the results. So, along with using basic blackjack strategy, card counting gives you a tangible advantage over the casino. Here's the deal. The odds tilt in your favor when there's a higher count of 10s and 11s left in the deck. By counting the cards, you can keep a close eye on the balance of low and high cards still in play. And that's where the magic happens. Alright, let's dive into the nuts and bolts of card counting and use the strategy to rake in some wins at blackjack. Remember, this trick only works in physical casinos, where they don't shuffle the deck after every hand, or at least not too often. And crucially, you need to kick off the count with the very first hand of a new shoe. Step 1. Learn the card values. First things first, you've got to assign values to the cards. The standard values go like this: -2, 3, 4, 5, 6, each worth +1, 7, 8, 9, each worth 0, 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace, each worth -1. Step 2. Counting cards. Now, every time a card hits the table, you apply those values. So, picture this. The dealer shows a 6 + 1. Your running tally goes up by 1. You've got a 7-0 and a Jack, 1. Your count is now 0. If the dealer then reveals a 3 + 1 and hits an 8-0, your final tally for that hand is +1. Practicing at home is a great idea. Shuffle 6 or 8 decks and deal them out. If you lose track, just go back and check the cards. No harm done. It's better to get your practice in for free and to lose real dough at the casino. You can even try online blackjack for practice, although the deck gets shuffled after every hand. Step 3. Calculate the true count. Back in the day, blackjack was played with a single deck, which gave players the slimmest house edge. With the basic strategy, you could nearly wipe out the casino's advantage when using just one deck. It made card counting a breeze. But things have changed. Nowadays, most casinos use 6 to 8 decks, which boosts the house edge and complicates card counting a bit. So, we've got to calculate the true count by dividing the running count by the number of decks in play. For instance, if your running count is +12 in a game with 6 decks, your true count is +2. This true count affects the house edge for the remaining cards. A true count of +1 with 6 decks means the casino no longer has an advantage, given optimal play. A true +3 even turns the edge -1%, swinging the odds in your favor. Step 4. Take advantage of the count. So, you've got your count, now's the time to make it work for you. The goal here is to win more, right? Start with a modest bet and then crank it up as the true count rises. This lets you take advantage of the improved odds and rack up more profits. You might have seen those card counting movies where a rich player swoops in at a high count and bets big, but trust me, you can totally do this solo. As the count increases, just boost your baits. A good rule of thumb is to use betting units that match the true count. This can also help you keep track, though it might draw some eyes to what you're doing. Step 5. Change the basics. Here's where it gets a bit trickier. When the card count goes up, you can deviate from basic blackjack strategy, but don't rely on gut feelings instead. Use math-backed statistics to guide your decisions. Here are some key deviations when the count is +3 or higher. Buy insurance on the dealer's ace. Stand on a 16 versus the dealer's 10. Split 10s instead of standing. Stand with 13 against the dealer's 2. Stand with 12 against the dealer's 2 or 3. Double down on 10 against the dealer's ace. Double down on 9 against the dealer's 7.